Welcome back. As a part of On the Beat, we provide you with information on crime trends, crime prevention techniques, and community programs. But you can get additional information by visiting the Baltimore County Police Department's website as well. The address is on your screen now. Press releases from the Baltimore County Police Department can also be accessed on the website. Please visit our new Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages. Our new social media sites are also on your screen now. Please visit us and follow to learn more about police department programs, activities, and what we are doing in the community. The Baltimore County Police Department is now hiring police cadets and police officers. For additional details, go to joinbaltimorecountypd.com or call 410-887-5542 to speak with recruiters. Now, we will visit the Baltimore County Police Department K-9 unit and speak with Lieutenant Joseph Peach.
The Baltimore County Police K-9 unit was founded in 1961. It's one of the oldest K-9 units in the entire state. Currently, the Baltimore County Police K-9 unit has 30 dog teams. That's 30 working dogs that are paired with 24 handlers. Every handler assigned to the unit has what's known as a patrol dog that's used for police patrol, and some handlers also have the added responsibility of a second dog that will go out and look for explosive devices, firearms. The police department notifies vendors through a bid process that we are looking to purchase police dogs. Vendors will respond to that bid, and once they go through the application process, members of the K-9 unit will visit the vendors and select dogs through an evaluation process to screen the dog that would best work with our K-9 program and would be best suited to be a member of our unit. Typically, the dogs that the vendors provide to us come from overseas countries such as Czechoslovakia or Germany. The Baltimore County Police Department uses German Shepherds and Belgian Malinois for criminal patrol, and we also employ a number of Labrador Retrievers for specialties such as explosive detections and firearm detections. The police department also has 2 police bloodhounds that we use for search and rescue missions to look for missing children or people who have varying illnesses or injuries that make them critical missing cases. The Baltimore County Police K-9 unit provides coverage 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and throughout over 600 square miles of Baltimore County. In order to become a member of the K-9 unit, candidates must be members of the police department for at least 2 years and off of their probationary period. After that point in time, they can apply to the unit just like any other specialized position within our agency. During the screening process, candidates are placed on an eligibility list, and when vacancies become available, candidates are chosen from that eligibility list to come to the K-9 unit. Once handlers are assigned to the K-9 unit, they're partnered with a new police dog. These dogs that they're partnered with are often very young in age, 10 months old or 11 months old, or sometimes a year old. They don't have any instruction in police K-9 work to that point. They're essentially a puppy. The new handler and the puppy will go through training together as a K-9 team. That K-9 training is a minimum of 16 weeks or 4 months in duration. Because these dogs have to maintain the ability to go to any environment or any location that any police officer may go to, we expose the dogs routinely through areas of Baltimore County that you and I would go to work or play. The dogs go to wooded environments, to parks, to industrial areas, to urban environments, and residential communities. The dogs are expected to be able to work in all of these environments through all different conditions and terrains. We have done training in fierce snowstorms as well as severe rainfalls so that the dog can be exposed to all those environments, and so that when the dog is faced with a real life scenario, the dog knows how to perform, and the handler likewise understands what the dog is engaged in and how they're performing. Sometimes people will ask us if the dog is trained in a language that outsiders are familiar with, will the dog respond to other persons if hearing the correct word given to them or the correct command? And the short answer is no. The handler and the dog go through extensive training and spend a lot of time together to build a bond. Once that bond is established, the dog will only respond to his or her handler. So when we purchase the dogs from other countries, they are most predominantly familiar with the native language of that country. So that is to say, if a dog were to come from Germany, the dog will have an orientation to some basic commands in German. The dogs don't have any prior training when we receive them or purchase them, but the dogs do have an orientation to commands that helps facilitate the screening and evaluation process. So we will speak to the dog in that German language so that we can better understand what his potential is and what his strong suits are during the evaluation process. With that being the case, once the dogs come to Baltimore County, the handlers are given the option of teaching the dog the English language and relearning those commands in our home native language, or they can continue to build upon and use the native language the dog has had some exposure to. This year so far, in 2018, Baltimore County K-9 officers have responded to over 7,000 calls for service. And in doing so, they have helped locate or find over 120 criminal suspects. Because of the dog's olfactory abilities, the dogs have a unique skill set to be able to locate items and persons that we cannot detect. We use the dogs to locate items such as explosive devices, firearms, articles that have human odor on them, as well as different people. Those people could be criminal offenders who flee a scene prior to police arrival, but they could also be missing persons we have to locate for their own benefit. For instance, a young child were to wander off from a campsite that their family was at. A police dog, one of our bloodhounds, could be brought to the scene. That bloodhound would then smell an article that might have that child's odor or scent on it. It could be the child's sleeping bag, a thermos that the child was holding, or it could be as simple as the seat that the child was sitting in. The dog will then search the area looking for that matching odor to try to identify a trail of odor to where the child is ultimately found and located. Because the dogs go to work with their handlers, they develop some of the same personalities and same rituals that the handlers do. Typically, when you and I are preparing to go to work, we will go through a routine that prepares us to leave the house, take work equipment with us, or take our lunch with us. The dogs will oftentimes pick up on those little routines, and they will often as well become excited about the opportunity to go to work. We typically see that when a dog comes to work, they're very happy to be here because this is fun for them. Everything about this work is what the dog lives for. One of the unique parts of our job is that we are the only police department unit that actually assigns and issues a member of your family. These dogs go home with their handlers and they become a fixture around the house. The dogs often spend time on the sofa with the spouse or a parent or a child. It's not uncommon whatsoever to have a dog sleep in the handler's children's room with the handler's children. The dog is with that handler more than that handler is with anyone else. It's very common for handlers and their families to be astonished by the fact that the dogs are so driven while at work and so business oriented. And then when they come home, they are just like any other pet that you and I would have. Because just like in our jobs, we absolutely have a drive to complete our work mission. And then when we go home, it's time to relax. And the dogs are very much the same way. As our working dogs increase in age, we consistently monitor the dog to ensure that the dog is still healthy and able to work. Once a dog reaches elevated ages, the dog is screened on a more continual basis through that retraining environment, what I would also call continuing education. The trainers and the handler will evaluate the dog to make sure his health is still well and the dog is still moving the way he should and provides utility for the handler and for the K-9 unit. After working for a period of years, the dogs should be able to retire. The dogs should be able to go home and live out the rest of the years in comfort with the handler's family.